What up? What up? What up? Another episode of Ball N Biz here. First one of the new year. Happy 2025. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jeremy. Welcome back to Ball N Biz, where we talk all about ball because we love sports. And then also we talk about business because we're focused on getting our paper up at the same time. You know, we're in our young 30s now. So, of course, we always keep the sports going, but it's time to buckle down on this business as well. And we always talk about ball and business, and we started to, kind of collaborate. And we're like, you know what? We just need to create this podcast because I feel like the people, especially our age, can benefit from this. So here it is.
Yeah, always a good conversation. Always a good conversation. We'll first get in the usual news and notes. So first things we have going on, college football playoff that resumes the Final Four Thursday and Friday. We're going to talk a little bit about that coming up in the show. NFL playoffs got locked in last night. Week 18, last day of the regular season yesterday. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that, who's in, who's out. And then, it's Black Monday for coaches. Jacksonville, Doug Peterson fired Gerard Mayo. They dang near didn't let him get to the locker room yesterday before they fired him. We know Robert Saleh up there in the Jets. He was fired midseason. New Orleans had the midseason opening. Eberflus in Chicago. A lot of coaches, a lot of carousel going around. So you shocked by any of the names? You shocked by anybody who maybe hasn't made a move yet?
Yeah, I'm shocked by the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Giants. I'm actually very surprised by both of them. The Giants just reported that they're retaining their head coach, which is a huge shock, seeing that the Giants organization has been trashed for a really long time. And they are most likely going to be getting a new quarterback here in the upcoming draft, which usually, new quarterback, new coach, fresh start, you would think, right? They got young talent out there, Malik Neighbors. I just thought that they would start fresh, but they actually announced that they're retaining their head coach and Brian DeBall. So I'm actually really shocked by that. Also, I'm shocked by my Indianapolis Colts keeping Ballard at GM and keeping Shane Steichen at head coach. I'm very, very surprised by that, seeing that we have not won the worst division in football in over a decade since Andrew Luck retired. So, yes, I am very shocked by those two moves or lack thereof. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of moves. I'm still waiting for the shoe to drop in Oakland, or not Oakland, but Vegas. You hate to see Antonio Pierce do that, but come on, you need to shake that up. You need to move that around. I'm really, everybody's waiting for the Cowboys. Mike McCarthy staying, Mike McCarthy going. We've been talking about that for 2 years. What's his status? Their season is done and dusted now. So, still might happen. But yeah, there's still some interesting names and some interesting names out there too.
And Gerard Mayo, I mean, my gosh, he got one season, but Doug Peterson and Jacksonville got three. Why does he get three? Why does Gerard Mayo, Gerard Mayo only get one? It's crazy.
They said they're going to hire Vrabel though, and if your coach is out, if your coach is out there and he's not on your sideline, even if the guy's on your sideline is, okay, whatever you want to call it, they're going to get him.
So Vrabel's the guy since he played there.
I mean, that's who they want. That's the only thing that makes sense, really.
Right. Especially after 1 year, and he was dealt a bad hand,
terrible hand. And he did better than we thought he would. Drake made so sign a promise. They're not horrible. So hopefully he gets another shot too. Miami, their coach down there, Mike McDonald, offense has been good. Well, it was until this year when Tua was out, and then defense has actually been solid, but they never get the results they want. They still the same Miami Dolphins. It doesn't matter how exciting they look or don't look during the season. So,
and then you got Tyreek Hill wanting to get out. So,
yeah,
that's also a really big deal. That's a lot of star power that's gone.
Yeah, and no Tyreek. You got Tua, whose health is always going to be questioned from here on out. Miami might have some tough sledding coming up in front of them.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Let's get to the biz notes real quick. Bitcoin back up over 100,000, Dow's up 200 points. That's good for stock, good for crypto. And got to get the money up. This would be an interesting time. Donald Trump takes over in a couple of weeks. We know it's going to be changing landscapes financially. So keep your eyes on that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's lock into the NFL playoffs. So the Chiefs got the bye. Here's the three matchups. Chiefs have the bye, the number one seed. No surprise. Texans versus Chargers. That's that 4-5. Ravens versus Steelers. And the Bills versus the Broncos.
Okay. Okay.
Let's talk about the AFC side first. Who do you like out of that side? What matchups you like? What are you thinking after seeing those matchups?
Yeah, this Ravens Steelers rivalry matchup, week one of the playoffs is going to be interesting. I still think the Ravens are the better football team. I think they're the second best team in the AFC right now. If I were to rank the top three, I would pick the Chiefs, Ravens, and then Bills. I think the Ravens Steelers matchup, I mean, it's a rivalry, right? So I think that's the most interesting matchup. I still think the Ravens come out on top. Texans Chargers. Texans aren't playing great football when you need to. They're kind of descending at the wrong time. They're just thankfully they're in a really bad division. They're in the worst division in football in the AFC South. So they could obviously squeeze into the playoffs as needed. But CJ Stroud isn't playing good football right now. The Texans aren't playing great football right now. So I think the Chargers win that game. They always talk about how you want to be playing your best football in January, and they are not, or in December, and they're not. So, and then Bills Broncos. I mean, Josh Allen is hot. Give me Bills all day.
Yeah, Josh Allen's hot. Broncos, they looking to unseat him, so I think that'll probably be a pretty good game too. I think the worst of the game is probably going to be Texans Chargers. I think Chargers probably come out and put the foot down on them. Yeah, probably. They just got a little too much going for them. Momentum. Harbaugh's been there before too. Ravens Steelers, like you said, that's going to be a rivalry game. It's probably going to be tight. They're going to be out there hitting. It's going to be out there banging. So they'll play that one in Baltimore. That'll be a pretty good game too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a good slate over there on the AFC side. Anybody beating the Chiefs, no matter what, who's coming out of there?
No. Can we bet against him at this point? Can we? I don't think we can. Like, he's almost LeBron-esque in the NBA. It's like it's really hard to bet against him when it comes to playoff basketball, and then obviously the finals or the Super Bowl, whatever it is. It's just I can't put my dollar against Mahomes at this point. I've learned my lesson too many times.
Yeah, I'm not putting anything against. The only team I think that could maybe beat them, Ravens.
Yeah.
I don't
the
even
Bills
think
the Bills have tried over and over and over again, and they continue to fail.
And their weapons are good. Their weapons are better. James Cook, decent. Amari getting healthy. Keon Coleman, he'll snatch it out the sky. But I think they're missing maybe one piece, or they need a guy or two to take maybe one or two more steps in the defense. I don't know if they could slow them down. I think Andy Reid's just going to get their number when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But Ravens,
it would be the Ravens. I mean, obviously they're coming into this playoffs, which is different than all the previous ones, is that they have a ultra dominant running game and a guy named Derrick Henry who has made his footprint with the Baltimore Ravens this year and said, "Hey, I'm still here, just in a different jersey."
Right. NFC side, Lions got that first seed bye after that big win on Sunday Night Football over the Vikings. So it's Rams-Vikings. 14-win Vikings on the road. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Bucks, Commanders, Eagles, Packers.
Right. So I think the Lions are the hottest team, arguably, in football right now. I mean, obviously, it's hard to say
playing next week because the Lions got the bye.
The Lions do have the bye. Yep. But and I was just going down the list. I think the Lions are still the hottest team. I know they got their first round bye. Rams, Vikings. I think the Vikings come out of that victorious. Bucks, Commanders. You know what, Jaden Daniels, you had a great run, rookie season, but this for the big dogs now. Baker Mayfield and got them boys down in Tampa playing great football. He's rolling. The Bucks win that game. Eagles, Packers. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's honestly a toss-up. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Jalen Hurts, but I don't know. Saquon's here though. That doesn't hurt. Saquon's here. He's gonna be running mad. He's
198.
I mean, has Saquon touched a playoff field ever?
I think one time he should.
Maybe one time in his whole career. I bet he's running mad now. He's running mad. I don't know. If I had to flip a coin, I'd go Eagles, but it's also I don't know.
Yeah, they got the Packers plus 198. You taking it just because? 4.5 point spread.
Half point spread is a little bit more safe.
4.5.
Oh, 4.5? I thought you said half. 4.5. Ooh, 4.5 dogs. Yeah, I would take that for sure. I would take that.
Yeah,
I would take that.
Yeah, that Vikings, even though they're on the road, they're the favorite. I think they should win that.
Yeah.
But I'm taking the Commanders. Though they're hot right now. Jaden Daniels playing well. They rolling full steam. Teams rolling over the Bucks. But I mean, Bucks got some defensive questions. Could be a ball game. Yeah, Baker has been there before. Mike Evans on fire, but
Hey, Jaden Daniels, he better light up the scoreboard because Baker and them boys put up points.
well, he can. Hey, good thing for him, he can though. So
Yeah.
I'll give him credit for that. And then the Eagles and Packers. Yeah, I guess that's a toss up. But Saquon, I don't know. Jordan Love's playing well. I don't know. That's a toss up. That's going to be a game.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a pretty good game.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Love playing well. I mean, the Packers, even though they did some ups and downs, they let Chicago kind of back in it, this and that. But yeah, I like that. Give me Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles.
Okay.
And I'm probably taking the Eagles going back to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts comes back. They got him. Lions, look, it's great, but they're already down. They're already down a couple bodies, a lot of critical bodies. Playoffs is another couple weeks. This bye week will be good for them. At least it keeps them off the field, can't get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But you down a running back. You down half the defense. O-line bank. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yep.
Never come. Let's switch over to the college matchups real quick. Texas versus Ohio State, Penn State versus Notre Dame.
Yeah, so Texas, Ohio State, I'm not going against Ohio State right now. Nope, can do. They just beat an Oregon team that was ranked number 1, undefeated. Oregon had already beat them previously, and Ohio State said, hey, we do this, and we still do this. Hey, I'm not going against Ohio State. I got them winning it all. With clearly, obviously, to win it all, they need to beat Texas. No problem. And then Notre Dame, Penn State, Notre Dame. Notre Dame proved who they are. After that NIU week 1, they've been rolling ever since. I'm taking Notre Dame versus Ohio State in the national championship, and then Ohio State taking it all.
They got Notre Dame -1.5 right now. You taking that to cover?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm taking that. Definitely.
Yeah, hey, as soon as they dropped the odds the other day,
I'm taking that for sure.
I went heavy on it.
Yeah.
I said, there's no way. 1.5 Notre Dame? Yeah, absolutely.
It's 1.5 right now?
It's still 1.5. I'm looking at it right now.
Wow.
Yeah,
what is that, -110?
-120 at this point.
Okay.
But I mean, they're gonna beat them by more than 2 points. I can tell you that.
Yeah, they might beat them by 3 touchdowns.
Hey, I can tell you that. Penn State. We all know. Everybody said it coming into it. Penn State had an easy road coming in, playing SMU at home in the cold. Come on, playing Boise State. And we like Boise, we like Ashton, but you load the box, you make them throw versus a team of that caliber. We get it. But Penn State never win the big game ever. And I'm not going to trust them to win this big game. Notre Dame's looking great. Defense playing, they're running the football. They're just making the plays they need to
put it this way. Notre Dame just smacked Georgia. Georgia would have smacked Penn State.
Absolutely.
Smacked Penn State.
And for that Texas Ohio State, I just took the over. I don't know what's going to happen. Ohio State looks great. That team that lost to Michigan, I don't know what happened. That team, they look great. Texas looks good, but then and they don't sometimes. The quarterback sometimes up and down. Sometimes he's banged up too. Look, to be fair, he's getting banged up. That's fine. They got another good one on the bench too. That helps a lot. You want to say Texas? I took the.
I'm not saying Texas. I'm thinking Ohio State beats them by 2 touchdowns.
Oh, by 2?
Yeah, for sure.
Could happen.
Yeah, for sure. That's where I am with Ohio State. And that's also where I am with Texas.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's pretty good. So check out, but while we're talking about this college sports though, too. So we know Juco, the rules have changed. With the portal and the NIL, the game has been changing literally every freaking week. So now new rules, the NCAA, they gave a waiver to allow people who competed in non-NCAA schools like Juco. Basically, you can retain your eligibility. So now we're going to have, older guys. Essentially, if you go to a Juco a couple years and go somewhere else, you can be a freshman. You can be 20-year-old freshman,
It's
21-year-old
crazy.
freshman. What are your thoughts on it?
It's crazy. It's going to cut out a lot of the high school graduates coming into college. You know, it's going to take away a lot. It's going to take away from their scholarships. First off, these colleges are going to look at, oh, well, this guy's, you know, he's playing X amount of time in Juco. He's been in Juco for 3 years, whatever, 2 years, and still has 4 years of eligibility. That's a big deal, right? Versus a fresh high school project coming in on potential. And it's all about winning at the end of the day. So these college coaches are really going to be looking to the Juco. But at the same time, Juco is going to get better. On top of that, they're going to have way more talent going there too. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Maybe you go Juco, it's not a knock. You know, maybe you go Juco, you still keep your eligibility instead of going straight D1 or something like that. So it's good and bad. I think it's good and bad. Maybe 10 years from now, it really helps the development of, because even across the board, when you talk about the NFL, NBA, we talk about bad quarterback play, the NFL especially, like bad quarterback play. Like these quarterbacks are coming in too raw. They're coming in undeveloped. Well, maybe this helps, right? NBA, bad product. Views are down. People don't play defense, you know, just not good. You know, the bigs aren't as good as they used to down low, whatever it is from a developmental standpoint. Maybe it helps. You won't see that tomorrow, but you might see that 10 years from now for sure.
Yeah, I think it's going to have to be, well, one, I think it can't be just a feeder system. It has to be a developmental system. You know, are you developing them? Yeah, in that sense, it sounds great. It sounds good. But you got to make sure you're doing that, developing the skills, developing the players. But it also needs to be man, just make the commitment. If we're going to do it like this, just make the commitment and call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? If it's going to be developmental leagues, like, you know, because that was the fear with the NIL. The big dogs, the Texas, the Ohio States, they're going to have all the money, and everybody else is going to feed up through them. Everybody, you know, the smaller schools, even in the Big Ten, are going to be feeder schools to these big schools, you know, these bigger schools with the bigger pockets. So they need to pick a system, commit to it, but then commit to the kids as well, too. Don't just have, don't just have a stock of 18, 19-year-olds just sitting around just because there's a couple 23-year-olds that want to play out the last of their days before they go work at State Farm. Okay. Like, hey, you know, are we developing them and moving them up systematically in a way that's going to improve them, improve the game, improve the players? Or are we going to get, you know, just guys hanging around, let them hoop in the gym? Yeah, y'all just do you for a couple of years and we'll circle back. You know, hopefully you gained a little bit. Hopefully you worked out a little bit, gained a little muscle, and, you know, we can work with you. Nah, you know, you commit to them or let these 18-year-olds play how they've always been playing. Because, you know, we don't need 27-year-old seniors. We're seeing that now, and everybody's saying, all right, it's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, so I think it's a double-edged sword. I'm not mad at it completely.
No.
But we'll see how it pans out. We'll see once my kid gets of age how this will you know, help or hurt our recruiting process.
Well, and it's hurt. I know I've talked to a couple of people now. It's such a backlog, even since COVID. You know, that COVID really started it when everybody was getting these COVID shirts and this and that. You know, it's a backlog of guys. These coaches have options. As stressful as it is to maybe on the top end guys where you got to re-recruit them and you got to offer them a new check every year. I mean, there ain't no shortage of ball players coming to the door. Because now you got, like I said, 27-year-olds compete with 18-year-olds for the same, you know, couple of spots on a team. What are you going to do? You know?
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Well, I'm excited to see how it plays out for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. So. Well, that's all we had on the rundown today. It's the latest episode of Ball N Biz. Jerm, we got a lot more to talk about. Playoffs coming up. We're going to recap some of that. Obviously, hopefully we'll know next week what this natty is looking like for the college football. Hoops is heating up as well. We're going to get more into that too. And also a new year, new season of money. So a lot more episodes coming up this year. Can't wait. Got the first one knocked out.
Cool. Well, thanks again for tuning in to another episode. I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Ryan. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.